Good evening, Central Pennsylvania, and welcome to Whether or Not. I'm your host, Christopher Tate, joined alongside our forecaster, Hannah Evans. Hannah, we've had a beautiful couple of days here in Central Pennsylvania. Is that going to continue?
Yes, fall is finally here, but those temperatures are still feeling like summer, and it is going to be a very pleasant weekend.
Awesome. Looking forward to the details on that coming up. Also on tonight's show, we have Jordyn Jenna giving us a feature on how weather impacts car tires. But first, here's Nature in the News. A few weeks ago, guest host Robert Johnson shared a story about how volcanologists, or scientists who study volcanoes, are using statistics to predict when dormant volcanoes might erupt again. Something similar is happening now, but with wildfire forecasting. A new computer model is being developed to predict the areas a wildfire might burn. But this model isn't focused on predicting days-long trends. Instead, a group of researchers are trying to gauge where a fire might move in the next 20 to 60 minutes. Aided by a research grant from the Department of Defense, scientists at the Brigham Young University Fire Research Lab studied over a dozen types of shrubs to better understand what conditions cause them to combust and how long it takes for them to catch fire when subjected to air at a temperature of 800 degrees Celsius, or almost 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Armed with the understanding that certain chemicals in some leaves have a significant impact on how long it takes for combustion to start, the researchers hope to supply firefighting teams with this model so that they can better plan a course of attack against the next wildfire.
Living in Earth's middle latitudes, we experience the four seasons: summer, fall, winter, and spring. But has climate change, which is largely driven by human activity, interrupted the concepts of the four seasons? Scientists have detected that as the planet warms up, the tropics have been expanding by 0.1 to 0.2 degrees latitude per decade. So those places that had four seasons are now experiencing almost two. The shift from cold winter temperatures to hot spring temperatures have been happening earlier in the year now, and winter is lasting a lot shorter. Although the seasons will not completely disappear, studies suggest that the timing and duration will change. Data suggests that summer will be about 13 days longer and winter will be about 20 days shorter. Spring and fall have warmed up quite a bit, and now October and April are looked at as transition months.
When you look up in the sky, have you noticed that there seem to be fewer birds over central Pennsylvania? A recent study found that the bird population in the United States and in Canada has dropped by about 25% since 1970. Researchers at the Cornell University Lab of Ornithology found that this ecological crisis is not contained to just one species of avian, but rather the entire community as a whole. The researchers arrived at this conclusion after examining nighttime weather radar data, which can be used to track bird migrations, and assimilating about 5 decades of data from volunteer observers. The researchers note that birds have long served as indicators of environmental health, and that the trends in North America closely match reductions in bird populations around the rest of the world. While the researchers do not explicitly state a cause for the decline, they do note that mass deforestation and habitat destruction across North America is likely a contributing factor.
A new study shows that green sea turtles are more likely to eat plastic in the ocean that looks like their foods that are in their natural diet. They are fooled by narrow lengths of plastic that are either green or black because they look like seagrass. They are also fooled by plastic bags because they look like jellyfish. Scientists examined the guts of washed-up turtles and found that one turtle had 183 pieces of plastic in its gut. Most trash reaches the sea via rivers, and this waste usually accumulates in gyres, which are areas of circulating ocean currents. There are 5 major ocean gyres worldwide, and they are located in the North and South Pacific, the North and South Atlantic, and the Indian Ocean. The North Pacific Gyre, located in the Pacific Ocean, is home to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which contains 3.5 million tons of trash and is estimated to double in size within the next 5 years if change is not made. Good evening, everyone. This is Hannah with your Central PA forecast. fall is finally here, but we do still see those above average temperatures here in central Pennsylvania. So looking into this weekend, Friday, mostly sunny with that high over here in State College, which brings the warmth and the sunshine. For Saturday, we do have this cold front in the northeast that will move through. We may see some increased cloud cover on Saturday with a chance of showers in the afternoon, but otherwise mostly warm on Saturday. And for Sunday, that cold front does move through. It is going to be a beautiful day on Sunday, mostly sunny, so maybe get outside, go for a walk, whatever. It's going to be a beautiful day on Sunday. So we can recap. For Friday, we have a high of 74, sunny and pleasant. And for Friday night, it does get a little chillier. It's going to be partly cloudy, low of 56. You might want to bring a sweatshirt or something if you're going out on Friday night. For Saturday, high of 82, partly sunny with a chance of those showers in the afternoon. And for Sunday, very pleasant, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Now here's Jordyn Jenna with her feature on how the weather affects car tires.
Over the summer, while I was taking a road trip to Tennessee, halfway through my 11-hour drive, I got a flat tire. And well, while I was standing on the side of the highway waiting for the repairman to show up and change my tire, well, I began to think, how does weather really affect tires? Even though above average temperatures have been hanging around for the past couple of weeks, fall temperatures are slowly approaching. In fact, it is fall now, our first day being a couple days ago. A lot of changes happen during the fall months when temperatures are dropping. Most people, dreaming of pumpkin spice, Halloween decorations, and their Thanksgiving feast, forget about double-checking one very important thing, their tire pressure. When tying weather and fall in the same sentence, the first thing that comes to mind is beautiful fall foliage, with trees covered in vibrant autumn color. Something that does not initially come to mind is how the changing seasons can affect your vehicle, especially your tires. I took a small trip to Tire Town right here in State College, PA, to interview co-owner and service manager J.R. Vitarage to learn specific details on how tires are impacted by the weather. Weather impacts everything on a vehicle, but most especially tires. It's obvious that tires are affected during the snowy winters and the incredibly wet springs, but what is not as obvious is the impact changing temperatures have on tire pressure.
Weather impacts everything on a car, but especially the tires. Traction issues in the rain, traction issues in the snow, extremes in temperature. Extreme cold will make them lose pressure, will make certain tires become harder and brittler. Extreme heat makes tires more susceptible to road injury.
Temperature greatly impacts the change in tire pressure. In fact, the tire business sees its most customers during October, November, and December. Changing tire pressure is directly linked to temperature. For example, during the warmer months of the year, roads become incredibly hot, and when tires are exposed to this extreme heat, the pressure within the tire builds. Winter months have a directly opposite effect. During the colder months, every 10-degree temperature drop is equivalent to losing 1 pound of tire pressure. Luckily, tires are specifically designed for this fluctuation.
The biggest thing with temperature under 40 degrees, certain tires become more hard and brittle, which means you will lose wet weather and sloppy weather traction. But they're designed for that reason. That's why a winter tire works so much better than an all-season. That tread compound, what it's made of, stays more pliable and flexible.
Because of extreme temperature changes, it is important during the alternating seasons to prepare for the changing tire pressure. Oftentimes, most people forget to check their tires during the changing seasons, resulting in an unexpected tire injury at the most inconvenient time. After the interview, JR showed me firsthand how all-season tires oppose tires specifically designed for the winter months. He keeps a freezer in the top shelf of his office that sits below 40 degrees. In the freezer, he has 2 rubber discs implementing the same material of an all-season tire and one with a winter tire material. After explaining the difference in temperature change, I was able to see just exactly how much the tire changed because of colder temperatures. The disc, designed to resemble an all-season tire, was completely hard and frozen, and when I held the disc, I was unable to bend it. JR explained that when the temperature drops, the rubber stiffens, causing the tire to lose traction. The worst part about this is that snow doesn't even need to be present for the tire to lose control on the road, just the colder temperatures. all seasons tires have an increased risk of slipping while driving. The winter tire, on the other hand, was completely bendable and resembled a completely different tread pattern. The softer rubber enhanced the grip of a tire. That's why it's important to invest in winter tires during the colder seasons. So yes, weather does impact tires, and it actually changes the tire pressure during different times in the year. So it's important to check your tires, especially during the fall months. It's also very important to maybe consider getting winter tires if you haven't already. For Whether or Not, I'm Jordyn Jenna.
Hi everyone, it's Hannah back here with your extended forecast. So into our weekend recap, we have Friday being mostly pleasant and sunny, a high of 74 and a low of 56. For Saturday, partly sunny throughout the day with that chance of that cloud cover and a chance of showers coming through into Saturday evening, a high of 82 and a low of 58. And for Sunday, again, mostly sunny and pleasant, a high of 77 and a low of 57. Now looking into your extended forecast for the rest of the week, we have Monday through Thursday temperatures still above average with a warm start to fall. We may see a cold front coming through Thursday that will bring a chance of showers. And for Friday, those temperatures returning back to fall temperatures, being mostly pleasant and sunny in the low 60s, Chris.
Well, I don't know about you, Hannah, but I'm definitely looking forward to the pleasant weekend we have in store this weekend. Although I'm not exactly a fan of the warm temperatures, I've got my eyes set on next Friday when we're going to be back below normal.
Yes, next weekend we may see those fall temperatures coming in. I personally love when the temperatures are in the 60s. I think it's perfect weather.
Oh yeah. We're just about out of time on tonight's show, but we do want to bring back our Weather Whiz Quiz question this week. We asked you, how many hurricanes have made landfall in the United States in the month of October since 1851? Was it A, 24, B, 37, C, 58, or D, 70? The correct answer is C. There have been 58 hurricanes to make landfall in the U.S. in any October since records began back in 1851. That makes up just about 20% of all hurricanes to make landfall in the U.S. since records began. And we bring that up because we are on the downside of hurricane season, though the tropics certainly still active right now.
Yes, you may still need to watch in the oceans and maybe another landfall hurricane, but we are on the decline for hurricanes this season.
All right, well, we're out of time for this week's episode. Join us again next week for a new episode of Whether or Not. For the entire team, I'm your host, Christopher Tate.
And I'm your forecaster, Hannah Evans.
We'll see you next week.